Okay, everybody. Hey, this is Mandela Man coming back at you with some more effects. And we're going to take a look at the Moonraker Code today. I might be skipping ahead to codes and coming back to effects, so try to keep up with me. Today we're looking at Moonraker, and we're going to talk about the fact that the astrological wheel, at least one character on that wheel seems to have changed, and it's Capricorn. Now, Capricorn, I remember, always used to be just basically like a goat. But if you look at it now, and if you look at like astrological images on Google, and you look at the wheel, they're saying that Capricorn is either half goat, half like mermaid with a fishtail, or it's half woman with goat horns, and the bottom of her body is like a mermaid, and that's Capricorn now. But I was watching Moonraker, and I noticed about 50 minutes into the movie, the original astrological wheel appears. So we're gonna take a look at this Moonraker Code. Now it's about 50 minutes into the movie where James Bond goes into like a clock tower and he's fighting this ninja guy. He ascends up this rope. To this astrological wheel back here. Okay. Now right here, right away, let me point something out to you. As we get a close up here. Okay, right here, you see Bond. You see these Gemini figures here are sideways. They're not upside down. They're sideways. Okay. And then we got Taurus and Aries here, and Cancer down here, peeking up, the little claw. Okay, keep an eye on that. Okay, and even beyond Aries, here in this position are the fish, the two fish. Okay. Now we see the outside of this wheel. Okay, from the outside. Okay, here we have Aquarius. Okay. Aquarius. Next to Aquarius, right here, is the original Capricorn. And I'm going to try to get a close-up for you so you can see that. Does everybody see that? Capricorn next to Aquarius. Okay. And so counting, we have Aquarius, Pisces behind it, Aries, Taurus, and what's this? We got Gemini here, where the Gemini twins are upside down at the lower part of this chart. You can see that right there. These are the Gemini twins here, upside down. Okay. It's a very weird thing going on here, where the inside and the outside are different. Now, what's up with this star chart? I wish somebody could tell me what this means and what, the sun here and what's going on with this. That's another code to be broken. Obviously, we've got the 4 cardinal points on the outside. So you can't really see it too good on this video. But if you go and watch the original movie, you're going to see what I'm talking about with this astrological wheel being different on the inside of the clock tower than on the outside of the clock tower. Okay. he's playing there. Boom, and he's about to throw this guy right through here. Okay. Boom. He threw him through, but then right above Bond's head, I think we have the bottom of the Capricorn thing here. Okay, in a different position from what it was on the inside. And then we got the Hanged Man coming through right here with the man upside down through the piano. Famous symbol you see in a lot of movies.
Play it again, Sam.
Play it again, Sam. So he even says, play it again, Sam. Bond even tells you, rewind this part and play it again, Sam. Okay? I don't know if you picked up on that. Okay, then we go ahead a little further in the movie. And I want to show you something else that I've been noticing. You know, I've been looking up these DMT entities and finding out, you know, Joker jesters are real and Clockwork Elves might be real, and the mirror behind the mask behind the mirror might be a real archetype, and all this insane things. But you know, these DMT archetypes, they appear in your movies, and I'm going to show you a good example of that right up here. Now, I've been looking for the Joker or the Jester clown, and out of this carnival atmosphere we got going on here comes that clown. Okay, go forward a little bit more. See what I'm talking about. Okay. Oh, who's coming? Who's coming down the alley here? Is that the Joker? We get the space agency symbol again. There he comes. The big clown. Big Joker clown right here. Big jester. And who is he? Bam. He's our bad guy, Jaws. With the metal in his mouth. Which is going to bring us to this next effect coming up, okay? But right there, you see the Joker, the bad guy, Jaws, the jester, a DMT entity making its way into your movies without you even realizing it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead to the most famous part. This scene with these dancing animals and the famous scene with Jaws and Dolly. But before we even get to Jaws and Dolly, I want you to notice this right here. So you can't even see it. Let me get up close. Oh, wow. It's like not picking it up for some reason. Oh, there you go. There you can kind of see. Okay. You see this 7-Up here in the middle, this 7-Up sign? Come on. Focus. So, trying to show you this 7-Up sign here. It wants to work for me today. Everything's malfunctioning today, guys. Everything malfunctions today. Alright, so let's see. We can block this out and get a little 7-Up action. I guess not. So I'm gonna have to go. I have to make this picture darker for you so you guys can see this. Alright, yeah, and to make it darker, it brings it into focus better. So here, right before the scene with Dolly and Jaws, where Dolly's going to be missing braces, you know, the bad guy in this movie, as we all know, with the Mandela Effect, his name is Jaws. He's got metal in his mouth. He falls in love with Dolly, I guess a scientist on this project to build a master race in outer space and destroy everybody on Earth. a little blonde girl, Dolly, who was supposed to have braces in her mouth. They both have metal in their mouth, and it fits a lot more with the whole perfect race, and you'll see as you watch the movie. But then we have this 7-Up weird thing. Now, this movie came out in 1979. In the middle here, we have 7 red spot up. And on the outside, we have 7-Up, 7-Up. Now, when I was young, the original 7-Up, it was 7 dash up. 7 dash up. Here, as you can see, it almost looks like Zup. 7-Up. And like I say, in the middle there, you got 7 red spot up. But the red spot was not added to 7-Up until 1980, a year after this movie even came out. And this movie had to be filmed probably a year before it came out in 78. So what is that red spot doing there in the 7-Up? And where are the dashes from the other 7-Ups? See, we're not noticing this Mandela Effect with the 7-Up because it was so long ago. And now we've added this red spot. So we don't notice the difference because we haven't looked back in time at the 7-Up logo. But this Moonraker movie allows you to do such a thing. Okay. We'll go on from there. It's a little bit of flat Earth you could see when he's way high up looking out. You could see the flat Earth. You could see how the sun and everything is divided in the light. You could see how flat the world is there in that scene. But that's neither here or there for this video. Okay, there's Miss Goodhead, of course.
We met before somewhere?
The faces. As is the matter.
It's become distinctly chilly since then.
Okay, I'm gonna go forward a little so you don't have to sit through this. Let's see. So they get into like a thing. Here comes Jaws, and they get into this standoff on here. Okay, but then at the end of the standoff. Okay, let me just pause it for you right here. Now right here we have a 7-Up can right there. Y'all could see it. Just so weird because it's just 7-Up. There's no dash on that cup. Okay? This is a whole nother Mandela Effect in with a second Mandela Effect appearing at the same time here. The wheel of time fell on him, obviously. That's more symbology there. Who's going to help him with the wheel of time? Here she comes, Dolly. Dolly. The famous scene we've all seen now. Metal in his mouth. Nothing in Dolly's mouth. Nothing in Dolly's mouth. Okay, so the part where Dolly doesn't have, where she first appears, that she doesn't have anything in her mouth, At the same time, you got the 7-Up code right in the back, all with the Wheel of Time calling back, falling on Jaws, calling back to the actual astrological wheel that we saw earlier. Okay? Very complicated codes in this movie.
Have you broken something?
Okay, now I'm going to go forward a little more. Okay, then we get some more product placement in there. Nothing I noticed too different. Okay, then we got a weird part here where they're going to talk about a river being called two different things.
Orchidea nigra. Very rare orchid indeed.
Yes, it was thought to be extinct, until a missionary brought one back from the upper reaches of the Amazoko.
Actually, he brought it back from the area of the river Tipperary.
Okay, right there. He brought the orchid back from the river Amazorco. No, actually, the river Tipperary. So it might not be a Mandela Effect, but they're showing you that things could be maybe misconstrued as two different things. A landmark could be called two different names. You see that, right? Okay.
Well done, James. You better get up there. Better fast. I've got something to get him there. If 007 could be trusted to look after it.
Alright, then we got a boat chase scene. Alright, now we get to another weird part. This is where he starts walking into a Mayan pyramid, and I guess he finds Drax's hideout there. The big globalist that wants to end most of life on the planet. And then something also, something very astrologically weird occurs. All these women come out. They'll come out to see Bond as he finds this pyramid, which is Mayan, having to do with time and everything, right? Boom! Gets tossed in the water. What happens in the water? Okay, right here you got Bond wrestling with this huge serpent snake. What you're seeing here, people, is the 13th sign of the zodiac, Ophiuchus. Okay, and Ophiuchus, he's gonna stab this thing. Oh, disappointment from all the women. He stabbed the snake. Okay, so what you just saw there was a representation of the 13th sign of the zodiac, which is Ophiuchus. The man wrestling with the giant serpent or snake, okay, with the lance. Alright, another big symbolic thing in that movie. Now I'm going to go forward a little more.
Helium flight pressure confirmed.
What exactly are you up to here, Drax? Well, why the orchids?
The curse of a civilization. It was neither war nor pestilence that wiped out the race who built the great city lying around us. It was their reverence for this lovely flower.
Because long-term exposure to its pollen caused sterility.
Correct, Mr. Bond. As you discovered, I have improved upon sterility. Those same seeds now yield death. Not, of course, to animals or plant life. One must preserve the balance of nature.
Okay, right there, folks. As you can tell, this Drax guy in this movie is just like our globalist and whoever built the Georgia Guidestones. He's gonna leave room. He's gonna kill all the humans and leave room for nature. He's gonna leave room for nature. Always leave room for nature, right? We say it twice on the Georgia Guidestones. Here it is in the Moonraker movie again. Okay? Leave room for nature.
Or sterility.
Correct, Mr. Bond. As you discovered, I have improved upon sterility. Those same seeds now yield death. Not, of course, to animals or plant life. One must preserve the balance of nature.
Moonraker launch program now commencing.
Heavy stuff, guys. Heavy stuff in these movies. Any movie that's been affected is going to tell you so much more about this effect.
Moonraker 1, liftoff.
Anyway, we'll go ahead and get to the outer space part of this movie, which is totally ridiculous, by the way. All this outer space stuff. Totally impossible. But somehow Bond finds his way onto this space station that the Strax has created. And, he's ready to destroy most of the life on the planet. And I'll just give you his speech. It'll say it all for you.
Investigate immediately.
Investigate number 28, immediately.
James Bond. You appear with the tedious inevitability of an unloved season.
I didn't think there were any seasons in space.
As far as you're concerned, only winter. And the treacherous Dr. Goodhead. Despite your efforts, my finely wrought dream approaches its fulfillment.
Your dream, whatever sort of nightmare it is, has no chance, Drax.
Do you think not? We shall see.
We're coming up to second launch position.
Launch globe number 2. No doubt you have realized the splendor of my conception. First, a necklace of death about the Earth. 50 globes, each releasing its nerve gas over a designated area, each capable of killing 100 million people. The human race, as you know it, will cease to exist. Then, a rebirth. A new world.
U.S. spacecraft on course to intercept us, sir.
A new world order.
Activate laser. Prepare to destroy spacecraft.
Now, a spacecraft comes, and what's weird about this is, on this guy's shirt here, it looks like it says Colonel C. Scott. Okay, anybody remember Colonel C. Scott from history? Was he an astronaut? Was he an explorer? Okay, I don't know about this captain, this other astronaut here, but I think this is supposed to represent Colonel C. Scott.
You see, my dear Bond, we're well able to protect ourselves against all enemies. Allow me to introduce you to the airlock chamber. Observe, Mr. Bond, your route from this world to the next. And you, Dr. Goodhead, your desire to be America's first woman in space will shortly be fulfilled.
Leaving you on your flying stud farm, conceiving your new master race.
If you like, yes.
And of course, anyone not measuring up to your standards of physical perfection will be exterminated.
Oh, George looks at Dolly.
Interesting. Most interesting.
Dolly looks alarmed.
Expel them. Jaws, you obey me! Expel them! On them!
Okay, and see right there we have Jaws' rebellion against this globalist, because Jaws is imperfect. He wasn't born perfect. His teeth aren't perfect. Dolly's teeth weren't perfect either. So this movie made a hell of a lot more sense in the other reality. Now, I mean, he still rebels, but it just loses its punch. Where Dolly being perfect, it doesn't make sense with the eugenics part of this movie. And anybody else, didn't you notice that the 7-Up sign was off the first time when you first saw Dolly's teeth missing? That's unbelievable. Nobody caught that. I want to show you one more part. We'll go a little further because I can't show too much of this movie to you. Crazy stuff happens. This is a good movie. You should check it out. Okay.
Moonraker 5, that's the answer. Drax's shuttles armed with a laser. We can track those globes and destroy them.
It's hopeless, sir. The corridor's blocked. They can't get to us now.
All right, let's go.
Having a little bit of malfunction here. Let me go forward a little bit more. Alright, here. Here you could clearly see Dolly has no braces. So this pinnacle scene at the end here, it kind of doesn't make sense anymore. But in another way, that these movies have been affected, they are calling your attention to these movies like this, Field of Dreams, especially. These films now have much more meaning to them than they ever had before. I think each film that's affected is probably talking about the effect in some way or another. It's up to us to kind of decipher these meanings. There it is, Jaws and Dolly. Perfect Dolly with the perfect teeth.
Release the door lock. I'll see if I can operate it back.
So weird, people. So weird.
It's jammed too.
Well, here's to us.
And that's really the whole time, the only time that Jaws talks during the whole movie. But I don't want to ruin the end for you people, but I think you get the idea. The Moonraker, I had never seen it before, and if I would have seen it in the old reality, I probably wouldn't have paid it much attention. But now that it's been affected, it's become a very deep movie to me, and I think it will be to you too if you watch it maybe once, maybe twice. I watched it 3 times. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And I will try to do a Field of Dreams code for you guys coming up. Because, that blew my mind out the back of my skull watching that movie again. Does anybody realize that there's time travel in that movie? Time travel in Field of Dreams? Do you remember that? Anyway, this is Mandela Man with the Moonraker Code. Signing off.